You should be happy I am still harboring you in this house. No man in his right senses will still accommodate a smelling girl that gave her pants to be used. Ikechuk's words hung in the air like poison. Chika stood frozen in the doorway of their bedroom, her eyes wide with disbelief. This was the same man who had promised never to leave her. The same man who had begged for the sacrifice. The same man who had sworn on his life that they were in this together, and now she's left all alone to fight for her dear life. Welcome to Tales by Mimi, where every story carries a lesson. Do subscribe to my channel for more intriguing stories like this. Now sit back and let's dive into the story. Chika was the girl every student in the Department of Biochemistry at Unizik Aqua knew by name. She was what they called a baddie, always dressed in the latest fashion, her hair always laid, her makeup always perfect. But there was one problem. Chika was never in class. "Chika, we have biochemistry practical today," her coursemate Blessing said over the phone one Tuesday morning. "Abeg, send me the details. I'll pay you 20K to write my report." Chika barely paying attention as she applied her lipstick in the mirror. "Again? Chika, one day this thing will catch you." "Catch me how? Money day, problem no day. Just send me your account number."
You see, Chika had a boyfriend, Ikechukwu, popularly known as Ike. And Ike was not just any boyfriend. He was a big boy, a Yahoo boy who flaunted his wealth like a badge of honor. His iPhone was always the latest model, sometimes even before Apple officially launched it in Nigeria. He drove a white Mercedes-Benz that gleamed under the aqua sun, and every weekend his house was the party headquarters. But Ike had one major flaw. He was as poor in his studies as he was rich in his pockets. Together, Chika and Ike became the power couple everyone envied. They paid their course-mates to write their assignments and exams. They threw parties that became the talk of the campus. Girls wanted to be Chika's friend to meet Ike's wealthy friends. Boys wanted to roll with Ike to learn his ways. "Chika, babe," Adanna called out one day at a party. "Please now, introduce me to your boyfriend's friend, the one with the Range Rover. I beg you." Chika smiled, knowing fully well that such introductions came with a price. "DM me. You know how these things work." "I'll send you something. Thank you, babe." Gifts flooded Chika's hostel room. Shoes, bags, perfumes, all from girls she had connected with Ike's friends. Life was sweet. Life was easy. Or so it seemed.
Everything changed on a Wednesday afternoon. Chika was at the salon getting her hair done when her phone rang. It was Ike, and his voice sounded strange. "Baby, where are you?" "I'm at the salon." "Why? What's wrong?" "Stay wherever you are. Don't come to the house. Don't come anywhere near the house." "Ike, you're scaring me. What's happening?" "EFCC. They're on my matter. Just stay away." The line went dead. Chika's hands trembled as she tried calling back, but Ike's phone was switched off. Hours later, news spread across campus like wildfire. Ike's mansion had been raided by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission. His cars were seized, his accounts were frozen, everything he owned was taken away. But Ike was smart. Before the EFCC came knocking, he had stashed millions of naira in a secret spot in their department's backyard. Nobody knew about it except him and Chika. That money became their lifeline.
They moved from the mansion to a small 2-bedroom apartment in Tempsite. The party stopped. The respect disappeared. The friends vanished like smoke. Chika tried to maintain her lifestyle, still posting pictures on Instagram with captions like, "Bad girl no dey carry last." But everyone knew the truth. The comments came. "Na packaging o, the thing don burst. Where is the Benz now?" Person wey EFCC don catch, she still dey form. Chika cried herself to sleep many nights, but she stayed strong for IK. After all, they still had the money from the backyard. They would bounce back. They had to. But the millions began to shrink. IK had never learned to manage money, only to spend it. And Chika's spending habits were just as bad. Designer bags, expensive hair, clubbing. They couldn't let go of the lifestyle they were addicted to. 6 months later, IK sat Chika down with a serious face. "Chika, we need to talk." "What is it?" "The money is almost finished. At this rate, we'll be completely broke in 2 months. Chika's heart sank. "So what do we do?" "I don't know. But I need to find a way. I can't live like this. I can't be poor. I'd rather die."
Weeks passed, and EK sank into depression. He would stay up all night, scrolling through old pictures of his former life, punching walls, crying when he thought Chika wasn't watching. He was a shadow of the confident big boy he used to be. Then, one Thursday, his friend Emeka came to visit. Emeka was different from EK. He had never been caught by EFCC because he was smarter, more careful. And recently, he had discovered something new, something darker. "Guy, you don't look like maga wey dem don chop," Emeka laughed as he entered their apartment. "Man, I don't even know what to do again," IK replied, his voice flat. They talked for hours. Then Emeka leaned in and lowered his voice. "IK, I want show you something wey go change your life. But it no be ordinary Yahoo. Wetin you mean?" "Yahoo plus plus. Na the juju side of the game. You go use rituals, you go use sacrifice, and the money go dey come like tap water. No stress, no wahala." IK shook his head immediately. "Emeka, I no fit do that kind thing o. That one na waiting. You don already collect people money through fraud. You don make Oyinbo people cry. Now you wan form say you get conscience? Guy, na the same thing, just different method." The words stung because they were true. What was the difference, really? IK had already crossed many lines. What was one more? "There's someone you need to meet. Babajide. Him dey very powerful for this game, but you must follow instructions. No shakara, no forming. You do exactly wetin him talk." 2 days later, they traveled to a remote village outside Oka to meet Babajide. The compound looked ordinary from outside, but inside, the atmosphere was heavy. Skulls lined the shelves. Strange symbols covered the walls. The smell of incense and something else, something darker, filled the air. Babajide was a small man with tribal marks and eyes that seemed to look straight into IK's soul. "Sit down," he commanded in Igbo. IK sat, his legs shaking. "Your friend don't tell me your matter. You want money, abi?" "Yes, Baba." "I fit help you, but the price no be small o. You go bring me used underwear from someone you love, someone wey dey close to your heart. That's the sacrifice. Na him go lock your destiny with money."
Ike felt sick to his stomach. Baba, I no fit do that kind thing. Baba Jide smiled, showing brown teeth. Na you sabi o, but remember say every big man for this Nigeria don sacrifice something. You no be the first, you no go be the last. The choice is yours. That night, Ike couldn't sleep. The desperation was eating him alive. He thought about his former life, his respect, his status. He thought about being poor, being a nobody. The thought was unbearable.
The next evening, Ike called Chika into their bedroom. His face was serious, his hands trembling. Ike, if I ask you for something, will you give it to me? Chika, of course, nah. What kind of question is that? You know I'll do anything for you. Anything? Anything. He took a deep breath. I met a Baba. He said he can help me make money again. Real money. Even more than before. Chika's eyes lit up. Serious? Baby, that's good news, nah. But he needs a sacrifice. Her smile faltered. What kind of sacrifice? Your underwear. Used underwear. He said it must come from someone I love. The room went silent. Chika stared at him, trying to process what she was hearing. My pant. Yes, I know it sounds crazy, but baby, we're desperate. We're almost broke. I can't live like this anymore. I can't be a nobody. Please.
Chika should have said no. Every fiber of her being screamed at her to refuse. But she looked around their small apartment. She thought about the shame she felt when her former friends looked at her with pity. She thought about the lifestyle she had lost. If I do this, she said slowly, promise me something. Anything. Promise me you won't leave me. Promise me that when the money starts coming, you won't treat me like trash. Promise me we're in this together. I promise you, baby, I swear on my life. I swear on everything I love. We're in this together forever. Chika went to the bathroom, removed her underwear, and handed it to him with shaking hands. It felt like she was giving away more than just fabric. She was giving away a piece of herself she could never get back. Ike took it, his own hands trembling. Thank you. I love you so much. I love you too. Neither of them could have imagined what was coming.
3 weeks later, money started flowing into Ike's account like a river. It was almost magical how quickly things turned around. His clients came back more desperate than ever. Deals that should have failed somehow succeeded. Money, 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 everywhere. They moved into a new house. Not as big as the mansion, but nice enough to restore their respect. Ike bought a Lexus ES350. The parties resumed. People who had written them off suddenly wanted to be friends again. Chika should have been happy. This was what she wanted, what she had sacrificed for. But something was terribly wrong. It started small, just a little itch. She would scratch absent-mindedly and think nothing of it. But within days, the itch became unbearable. Her private area felt like it was on fire, like thousands of ants were crawling under her skin. She scratched in the morning, she scratched in the afternoon, she scratched at night until her skin was raw and bleeding. She scratched in public, not caring who was watching, because not scratching felt worse than death itself.
Chika, what's wrong with you? Ike asked one evening after she had spent 2 hours locked in the bathroom.
I don't know, she cried.
I've been to 5 different hospitals. They've done every test possible. Everything came back negative. There's nothing wrong with me medically, but I can't stop scratching. Well, you need to control yourself. You're embarrassing me in public. She stared at him in disbelief. Embarrassing you? Ike, we both know why this is happening. We both know what you did with my pants. Don't start with that superstitious nonsense, Chika. Superstitious? You went to a juju man. You used my body for ritual. And now look at me. I did it for us. You agreed. You wanted this life back as much as I did. They fought that night like never before. But the next morning, Ike apologized, bought her flowers, and promised they would find a solution together. But as weeks passed and Chika's condition worsened, Ike's patience wore thin. He started avoiding her. At parties, he would walk ahead, pretending they went together. When she scratched, he would look away in disgust. Then the smell started. A horrible, rotten smell that no amount of bathing or perfume could hide. Chika would shower 3-4 times a day, but the smell remained. People would wrinkle their noses when she passed. At parties, girls would whisper and giggle. Ike's anger turned to cruelty.
It happened on a Wednesday afternoon. Chika had just returned from another useless hospital visit. She was exhausted, physically and emotionally drained. The scratching had taken over her entire life. Ike was in the living room with Emeka when she walked in. He looked at her with cold eyes. "Chika, pack your things. You need to leave." The words hit her like a physical blow. "What? You heard me. This isn't working. You need to leave my house." "Chika, you can't be serious. After everything we've been through." "After everything what? You think I'm happy like this? Everywhere we go, people are looking at you like you're mad. You spend hours in the bathroom. You smell like something died inside you." The cruelty in his voice made her stumble backward. "You did this to me," she screamed. "You used my body for money. You promised you would never leave me. You swore." "That was before you became like this. Look at yourself, Chika. You're disgusting. You're embarrassing. I can't deal with this anymore." "You should be happy I'm still harboring you in this house," he continued, his voice dripping with venom. "No man in his right senses will still accommodate a smelling girl that gave her pants to be used." Those words broke something inside Chika. She stood there, tears streaming down her face, scratching unconsciously. "Where will I go?" she whispered. "I have nothing. I gave up everything for you." "That's not my problem. You have until tomorrow morning." Emeka shifted uncomfortably. "Guy, this thing where you dey do no make sense oh. You know say na because of the juju." "Shut up," Ike snapped. "This is my house, my decision." Chika didn't argue anymore. She had finally seen the truth. Ikechukwu had never truly loved her. She was just a tool, a sacrifice, a means to an end.
That night, Chika packed her belongings into 2 small bags. Everything she owned in the world now fit into 2 bags. The designer clothes, the expensive shoes, she left them all behind. They were bought with cursed money anyway. She had nowhere to go. Her so-called friends had abandoned her months ago. She couldn't go back to her department. She had been withdrawn for missing too many classes. And she couldn't go home to her parents. Not like this. Not as a failure. She ended up staying with a distant cousin in Nokbo, a woman who reluctantly gave her a corner in her 1-room apartment. "Chika, what happened to you?" her cousin asked, eyeing her with a mixture of pity and suspicion. "I made mistakes, Sister Linda.
very bad mistakes. The scratching continued. The smell persisted. Chika spent her days locked inside, crying, scratching, wondering how her life had fallen apart so completely. She had no money, no education, no future. She was damaged goods, marked by a curse she willingly accepted. One night, in her darkest moment, she knelt beside the mattress on the floor and prayed for the first time in years. God, if you are there, if you still remember me, please help me. I know I don't deserve it. I know I made terrible choices, but please, I'm begging you, help me.
Sister Linda was a devout Christian who attended a small Pentecostal church in Umpo. One Sunday morning, she forced Chika to come with her. "You can't stay locked inside forever. Come to church. Maybe God will have mercy on you." Chika didn't want to go. She was ashamed, broken, smelling, but Sister Linda insisted. At the church, a visiting prophet was ministering. When he saw Chika, he stopped mid-sermon and pointed at her. "You, young woman in the back, come forward." Chika's heart pounded as she walked to the front, everyone's eyes on her. The scratching was unbearable, but she tried to control it. The prophet looked at her with compassion. "My daughter, you're carrying a heavy burden, a curse from a sacrifice you made willingly. Am I right?" Chika burst into tears and nodded. "God has seen your tears. He has heard your prayers. The curse will be broken, but not completely. You will carry a mark for the rest of your life, a reminder of the price you paid for loving money more than yourself." The prophet prayed over her for what felt like hours. The church joined in, their voices rising in powerful intercession. Chika felt something shift inside her, something break loose. The scratching began to subside, not immediately, but gradually over the following weeks. The smell faded, but just as the prophet had said, a mark remained, a dark patch of skin on her lower abdomen that would never go away, a permanent reminder of her past.
Chika made a decision. She would go back home to her village and face her parents. She would tell them everything and beg for their forgiveness. Her father was a retired teacher. Her mother sold vegetables in the village market. They had sold their small plot of land to send Chika to university, believing she would become a biochemist and lift the family out of poverty. "Papa, Mama," she knelt before them in their small living room, tears streaming down her face. "I have failed you. I wasted the sacrifices you made for me. I chased money and lost myself. But I want to start again. I want to be the daughter you deserved. Please, forgive me." Her mother cried. Her father was silent for a long time. Finally, he spoke. "Umwami, every young person makes mistakes. Some small, some big. Yours was big. But if you're truly ready to change, if you're ready to work hard and build something real, we will support you. But this time, no shortcuts. You hear me?" "Yes, Papa." Chika enrolled in a local computer training institute. She had learned enough about technology from her time around Yahoo boys to know it was a valuable skill. She studied day and night, making up for all the years she had wasted. 6 months later, she got a certificate in web design. A year later, she got a small job at a tech company in Onitsha, earning 80,000 naira monthly. It wasn't much,
But it was honest money, clean money, money she earned with her own hands and brain. She cut off all contact with her old life. No parties, no Instagram flexing, no chasing after big boys. Just quiet, steady progress. 3 years later, Chika had been promoted to a senior position, earning 300,000 naira monthly. She had rented a small apartment. She was saving money to start her own web design business. She was finally becoming the person she was meant to be. The mark on her skin remained, a constant reminder. Sometimes she would touch it and remember everything: the parties, the bends, the sacrifice, the curse, the abandonment. And she would thank God for that mark, because without it, she might have forgotten the lessons she learned.
As for Ikechukwu, karma came for him, just as it had come for Chika. The ritual money had a time limit that Babajide had conveniently forgotten to mention. After 2 years, the money stopped flowing. But worse than that, Ike began to experience his own problems. He started losing his mind, hearing voices, saying things that weren't there. He would wake up screaming in the middle of the night, claiming that something was sitting on his chest, choking him. His new girlfriend left him. His friends abandoned him. The money disappeared. Eventually, Ike went back to Babajide begging for help. But the Baba just laughed. As a juju na play. You use person destiny for ritual. You think you no go pay? The bill don't come. Pay am. Ikechukwu lost everything. His sanity, his health, his future. Last anyone heard, he was living with his mother in their village, a shell of the big boy he used to be.
5 years after everything happened, Chika stood in front of her own 3-bedroom house in Enugu, a house she had saved for and bought with her own money. She ran a successful web design company with 5 employees. She sponsored 3 young girls from her village through school. She was finally proud of herself. Her phone rang. It was her mother. "Noami, how are you?" "I'm fine, Mama, very fine. I called to tell you that we are proud of you. Your father and I were so proud of the woman you've become." Tears filled Chika's eyes. "Thank you, Mama." After hanging up, she touched the mark on her skin, her permanent reminder. She didn't hate it anymore. She was grateful for it, because it taught her the most important lesson. True wealth is not in your bank account or your wardrobe. True wealth is your integrity, your peace of mind, your self-respect, and your ability to look at yourself in the mirror without shame. Chika had lost everything to learn this lesson. But now that she knew it, she would never forget it. And she would spend the rest of her life making sure other young girls didn't have to learn it the hard way.
So, my dear viewers, this is the story of Chika, a girl who had everything, lost everything, and found something better than what she lost, herself. Her story teaches us that shortcuts always come with a price, and sometimes that price is too heavy to carry. If this story touched you, if it taught you something, please hit that like button and share it with someone who needs to hear it. Maybe your friend, your sister, your daughter, anyone who is chasing quick money without counting the costs. Drop your thoughts in the comment section. Have you seen something like this happen before? Do you know someone making the same mistake? Let's talk about it. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please click that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss our next story. Remember, no matter how sweet the shortcut looks, it's better to take the long road that leads to real success.
The mark that Chika carries on her body is a reminder that some decisions have permanent consequences. Choose wisely. Thank you for watching, and until next time, stay blessed and stay wise.